That's all but inevitable. All right, this is huge, guys. I heard there's multiple nations right now and preparing for something big. It's not only land, sea, or air, but also Space Force. So I want to read something really quick here. Check this out. Now it says here a ship in the Pacific Ocean carrying a high power laser takes aim at a U.S. spy satellite. Now that is something really big. Blinding is sent
Ahead of time, praise the Creator, Nobel's peace and love to everybody. Just know that this gentleman, he is a Christian, so if he says anything that we both all know he's not supposed to say, with the Mr. J and all that stuff, just chew the meat, spit out the bones. This is News Report.
Sir, in denying the United States critical eyes in the sky. So, from what I'm hearing, this is from Two Kingdoms here. Let me see if I can find their names. Here we go. The Red Dragon and the Bear. Now, once again, guys, we have all the updates, all the information, and this is why there's so many stuff going on in the Pacific Ocean. And no, I'm not talking about earthquake or volcanic activity. I'm talking about buildup of military power. Australia submarines. And not only that, guys, I posted a video last night. There is a lot of soldiers going to Australia, aircraft, and submarines capable of carrying nukes. So there's a lot of stuff going on here that a lot of people don't know. Now, before I start, guys, give this video a big thumbs up. Share this video with your friends, families, and loved ones. I appreciate the love and support. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, once again, the PayPal link and the Patreon link is in the description box. Also, guys, $1 a month Patreon, we get you access to our live stream every Saturday. We talk about things that we cannot talk about in this form. Also, guys, I posted videos in the last 24 hours. Those links will be in the comments box along with this article. All right, let's see what's going on here, guys. Let's see what's going on this one. So it says here, a ship in the Pacific Ocean, I'm just going to read this again, carrying a high-powered laser takes aim at a sleeping giant spy satellite, blinding its sensor and denying the sleeping giant critical eyes in the sky. Critical eye in the sky. You know, I was doing research yesterday when it comes to, because I seen this picture on Instagram, right? And supposedly there is something out there in space. And you know how they got the eye of God? You know, supposedly there is something out there that looks like an eye, they call it the eye of God, right? And God is watching us. Well, there was a picture on Instagram that shows another one, but this one here it looked like a mean eye. It was like fiery ring eye just looking right at you. And it looked like it was angry or something. So I believe there's something out there. I do believe so. I believe there's going to be more antichrist spirits coming into the world as we are entering into the timeline of end-time Bible prophecy. I mean, just look at the world, guys. It's all upside down. These are all antichrist spirits that is flipping everything and confusing people. So there is so much more. Look, they're not telling us a lot when it comes to Space Force. There's a reason why there's so many stuff out there that they're not even telling us. Trust me, there's so much things. The Bible speak about it. But at the very end, we just put our faith and trust in Jesus and God. Live.
No, we don't.
Our life cheerful.
We put our trust in the Creator only.
This is one scenario that military officials and civilian leaders feared could lead to escalation and wider conflict as rival nations like the Red Dragon and the Bear stepped up development satellites weapons. And last night, you know, guys, YouTube has one of their channels that they put out free movies, and they have a lot of good movies. A lot of it is absolutely free, right? And last night I watched this movie, and it wasn't like great quality and stuff like that, but it was one of those movies that it calls your attention, right? And supposedly there was something that happened to the world. There was an asteroid, right? And there was a satellite that shot the laser towards the asteroid and kind of broke the asteroid in multiple pieces. And instead of curving it out to space, it broke in four pieces and it was spreading through certain parts in the world, right? And the satellite was damaged, but it was still working. But the satellite, instead of going after asteroids, the satellite was going after airplanes, military airplanes, so just regular airplanes. It was just shooting laser towards airplanes and just burning everything that was flying in the air. So there's a lot of things when it comes to satellite weapons. I'm hearing it. I'm seeing all these type of movies of satellite weapons. I just feel like something big of satellite weapons to come. Possibly satellite weapons is causing all these world events when it comes to FIRE. Okay, so if a satellite came under strike, depending on the circumstances, the appropriate measures can be taken, said Lieutenant General John Shaw, Deputy Commander of the Sleeping Giant Space Command. So what is the Sleeping Giant Space Command? The space battlefield is not science fiction, and anti-satellite weapons are going to be a reality in future armed conflicts, Shaw said at the recent 36th Space Symposium in Colorado Springs. So basically, this is the future. This is not like the Roman Empire stuff. This is far advanced technology stuff. Welcome to how people say they want to see future stuff and ray guns and all that type of stuff, and basically this is where we at right now. And a lot of people wish that they could go back in the 90s and just live their life with no electronics. All right, so the Sleeping Giant Space Command is responsible for military operation in space domain, which starts at the Kármán line, some 100 kilometers at 62 miles above the Earth's surface. This puts Space Command in charge of protecting the Sleeping Giant satellites from strikes and figuring out how to respond if hostile acts do occur. All right. So it's basically like this, right? A couple of weeks ago, there was a baseball game, right? And there was this one guy. He was, he had his baseball bat, right? And he was waiting for the first pitch, right? He was waiting for that first pitch. So he got the baseball bat and everything, and then he covered his eyes and all that. And he put his hand in his eye saying, "Man, what's going on here?" So he talked to the umpire and say, "Hey, someone down there is pointing their laser in my eye." So when they saw the replay, they were reviewing the replay. The baseball player, the batter, his whole face was green. It was lit up green. So the umpire knew and say, "Hey, someone back there has a laser," and it was one of those expensive laser, which is very dangerous because you pointed that thing in someone's eye, and the batter cannot concentrate. So they got the person, and I don't know, the person was banned or put in jail for that. So basically, that's what these nations are doing. They're using their lasers in a ship in the Pacific Ocean, pointing it at the U.S. satellite and blinding them. So it's something that needs to be. I do believe that the Sleeping Giant is going to fix all that. All right, give me a second. So military space assets like satellites and ground systems typically have been considered support equipment that provide valuable services such as communications, navigation, data, and early warning of missiles launches. But as the PENT has grown increasingly dependent space. Satellites are becoming strategic assets and converted targets for adversaries. It is impossible to overstate the importance of space-based system to national security. Now, Shaw noted that General John Hinton, the vice chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, likes to talk about satellites as being a big, fat, juicy target. I agree with that, said Shaw. But how do we change that? How do we make it more difficult for a potential adversary to think they could succeed in depriving us of our space capability? Those questions are now being debated as Space Command development, or Shaw described as space warfighting doctrine. A laser blinding a satellite is just an example of the types of strikes the sleeping giant has to prepare for, said Shaw. If that happened, the Defense Department will have to decide how to respond to that. You know what? Considerably, naval or aerial forces will be called upon to take retaliatory action. So, can there be a war out of this? Well, I don't.